Hi, everyone. Welcome. Good to see all of you back. This is the first meeting that we're doing at Foresight in the new year. So it's very, very, very exciting to see all of you. Actually, our last meeting wasn't very long ago. And I've also had the pleasure of seeing some of you in person at Vision Weekend, which was a ton of fun, including Ben. And I think, saw James joining. James, very, very, very happy to have you on the call as well. It's too bad that we didn't get to meet in person at Vision Weekend in France, but I'm hoping that there'll be more in-person meetups throughout this year. So I'm really happy to welcome all of you to the kickoff of this year's program. And now we've been really going for an entire year. So I think that's really cool. And that's something that we couldn't have said at the holiday gathering. So very, very, very exciting. Maybe just a few words from, my end. Last year was really, I think, so Foresight really, I think, since its inception has been very, very, very strongly focused on molecular nanotechnology. We usually did that via technical competitions. Then obviously with COVID, none of that was possible anymore. Many of you I actually met for the first time at our technical competitions. Then we moved everything up online into the virtual container through COVID. And now this year, we want to bring the best of both worlds together and actually infuse a bunch of in-person meetings again, including a few workshops. Ben will tell you much more about it. I'm very, very, very happy to have Ben now really co-facilitating this entire program. I'm super, super happy to have you by our side. And I think that, we're off to, I think, a few exciting projects this year and a few still to be revealed. But I think what Foresight really does is, the technical seminars, including the workshops. In addition to that, we give out the Feynman Prize, and I already, I think, saw Ken joining, and Ken won our Feynman Prize in the last year. So thanks for joining. It's really nice to see you, and I really look forward to your presentation later this year. And then in addition, we also have a fantastic fellowship every year. We were quite oversubscribed last year, and that didn't stop for this year. So really, really happy to have many new fellows on board. And so perhaps we could start just with a quick, very brief intro from our fellows, just that you have a little bit of an understanding of who to really look out for throughout this year, both virtually and in person. So let's see who I can put on the spot first. Maybe we will start with Giulio. Giulio, are you here? You were already here for David Lee's senior fellow interview. So perhaps you just want to say a few words about yourself. Giulio may have sound issues still. Let's see who else I could pick on.
Yeah.
Perhaps Kunju, would you like to go?
Me? Right. So, can you hear me?
Hi. Very well.
Okay, so my name is Kuiyu Wang, and currently I'm working in Texas A&M University, and my research interest focuses on some coordination bond-based material like metal-organic framework and some coordination cages. And now we are looking for some potential application for our material because our material is highly porous. So now we are doing some catalysis and separation. So I'm very glad to join the Foresight Fellow Board this year.
Well, we're honored to have you. Dusan, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Dusan, and I'm currently a postdoctoral researcher in the head group at the University of Aachen, where I'm currently working on developing new photo switches that can be used as fluorescent probes to further increase the resolution of super resolved microscopy. And therefore, also from June, I will continue my second postdoctoral research in the HAL group at the University of the Max Planck Institute in Göttingen. But the biggest portion of my research has been done in Groningen in the group of Professor Ben Feringhab. Hi, Simon. Where we use synthetic photo switches to control biological machinery of cells, more precisely circadian rhythms that control circadian clock, or actually the time in every single cell that we have in our body. And we were able to extend the cellular time of our cells, but also reversibly return it back to normal phase. So that's somehow my research and research interest. Yeah, and I'm
Very
really
fun.
happy to join. Yeah.
Very, very fun to have you on board. Julio, and would you like to say a few words?
Again, can you hear me now? Can you hear
Loud
me?
and clear. Loud and clear.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So, hi everybody. I am Giulio Ragazzon. I'm a researcher who recently started his group in Strasbourg at the Institute of Supramolecular Science and Engineering. And my background is in molecular machines, and in particular, my technical background is in optical spectroscopy and electrochemistry. And the research direction that I would like to pursue is to understand how energy sources can be used to make molecule perform tasks that are not spontaneous, things that happen only away from equilibrium. And the reason why I particularly like the Foresight and the activities that are organized is because it keeps me connected with the broad community, both in terms of spatial localization, like in US and Asia in some cases, and also in terms of topics. So very nice to interact with all of you.
Very cool. Well, we already had a little bit of a chat about potential more software-focused approaches to molecular machines. So very excited to maybe collaborate on that closer this year too. And next one up, we have Charlie. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Charlie. I recently started my own group between King's College London and the Francis Crick Institute. And we're really interested in applying molecular machines and capsules in more biological settings. So I'm building a network of collaborators at the Crick in terms of biologists. And I love coming to these meetings to hear about what's going on around the world in the field.
Well, we're very fortunate to have you on board. Next one up, we have Simon.
Good evening or good morning, everyone, or wherever in which time zone you currently are. Happy New Year. I'm Simon, or Simon. I'm from Germany. I currently work as a group leader or building up my own group at the Max Planck Institute for Solid State Research. I did some work on light-driven molecular motors in the Thinker group during a postdoc, and my research goals are to implement molecular machines in the solid state and have them operate and do magic inside solids. I mainly work with metal organic frameworks, but also other kinds of solids. Good to see you do that. And I'm super happy to be in this group, obviously, to change research topics. The field of molecular machines is very wide. I certainly bring an aspect of molecular machines in solid that not a lot of people are tackling. I think mostly research on molecular machines is done in solution or in more towards biological systems. So I'm happy to get some inspiration from you guys, and maybe someone has interest in getting some inspiration from the stuff that I do.
Very fun. Next one up, we have Stefan, who unfortunately I didn't have the chance to meet in person at the Vision Weekend in France, but very, very happy to have you in the group, and hopefully we can do this year. Stefan, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I'm Stefan. I work as a researcher in the Lee Group in Manchester, where my interests are in chemically fueled autonomous molecular machines. And so I'm particularly interested about how we can develop machines that use this system that biology uses to power most of its machines. And I think the interesting thing is there that, if we look at nanotechnology that we've got in the world at the moment, none of it uses non-equilibrium machines, whereas if we look at biology, pretty much every single example of sophisticated task performance does use molecular machines. So that's really the big disconnect and something that motivates me in the work that I do. So yeah, nice to meet you all, and hopefully some good ideas to come.
Very fun. Okay, and that is in fact a topic that we'll be focusing on much later this year. Last but not least, we have Yuan-Ing. Yuan-Ing is not only a fellow this year, but he also won the student prize in the previous year. So Yuan-Ing, congratulations again, and it's really nice to see you again.
Oh, thank you, Alice, and Happy New Year to everyone. My name is Yuan-Ing Feng. I'm a postdoctoral research fellow in Stoddard at Northwestern University. I have been working on and also continue working on the design and synthesis of artificial molecular machines, particularly molecular pump, which is based on dumbbell-shaped molecules. I'm going to do more on those type of molecular machine and try to involve more other external stimuli to have
more and more useful application in the future. And thank you all. I'm happy to meet you all here in the group.
Lovely. And this is all from my end. And I'm really, really happy to have such an incredible fellowship cohort again this year. Really, really happy and can't wait to meet you all in person at our various technical meetings. For now, I want to pass it on to Ben to tell you a little bit more about what it is that we're going to be doing this year.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Ben Reinhardt. Just for those of you who don't know me, I'm helping out with the molecular machine group. My day job is I work sort of as a research fellow at the Foresight Institute, and I'm working on building up an organization called PARPA that funds and coordinates distributed research programs. And so that will actually be relevant in just a moment. I'm going to attempt to share my screen so I can show you all the program. Right. I'm assuming you can all see that because it says I'm sharing my screen. Cool. So the sort of the core of the program this year is going to be based around two kinds of events. So one kind is going to be sort of seminar style keynote talks. I talked to several of you over the past months about sort of what you really liked, you got out of the group. And a very consistent theme is just sort of seeing what's going on sort of across the field and just sort of keeping your fingers on the pulse of that. And so that's going to be the goal of these keynote talks. So these are going to be sort of your traditional seminar style talks where the one or more speakers will present on the work they're doing. And then what we're going to try out is doing both sort of audience Q&A, but then also having me prepare some questions and do some structured Q&A to try to sort of one, sort of have a standard set of questions that we dig into, and two, to connect between the different talks. So we're going to have at least one of those every month. In addition to that, we're also going to be trying out what we call focused meetings. And that's sort of on the same theme as the talks, but so this would be a much more interactive discussion-based meeting where people sign up to give like 5-minute talks just about sort of what they're thinking about, what they want to discuss, and then it's much more of a free-form discussion to try to push forward sort of ideas, collaborations, possibilities. Where one sort of focus of the group that we're going to try to push this year is to really sort of have things come out of it besides just knowledge. And so to that end, there are going to be these focus meetings, and then towards the middle of the year, we're actually going to be targeting having one or more in-person workshops, with the goal to actually have sort of conclusions and potential work to be done coming out of that, and sort of they're going to be joint Foresight PARPA workshops, with the idea being that high potential ideas come out of them, then that could actually spin into either a PARPA program or some other kind of funded work. So it'll be the goal is really to have it be more than just talking and really sort of pushing the field forward and making ambitious things happen. So those are sort of, and just the things to know is that we're very open to suggestions for speakers for the keynote talks. So please, there's on the spreadsheet, there's a place to suggest potential speakers. So that'd be awesome. Please do fill out your information if you haven't done so that we have a sense of who you are and what you're excited about. And then also, please, if you want to participate in the focus groups and give just a 5-minute talk and really sort of push an idea to the group, please sign up for those focus sessions. So that's all the things I wanted to touch base on. And then also, if you have ideas for, so we have some ideas for what the workshops could focus on. But then if you have wanted to see something in particular, if you have ideas for workshops that could potentially become like broader distributed research programs, please let us know. And I guess the last piece is that we're looking to try to coordinate everything via Discord, and have, so we'll be sending out obviously email invites to the various sessions, but the primary means of communication among the group will be on Discord. And there's also a link to that in the spreadsheet. So those are all the things I wanted to touch base on. I'm of course happy to, I'll unshare my screen and hand the mic back to Allison, but I'm happy to answer any questions or talk about any of that.
Thank you very much, Ben. That looks lovely. I want to perhaps say a few words about note-taking for this year. So last year, for those of you who are at Vision Weekend, for example, I think many of you already know that one of the note-taking devices that we want to use this year, instead of just creating a report, is actually trying to build out a technology tree. And perhaps that is best done by me showing you why we're doing this and how we're doing this. So basically, we wrote this very short post, which is really only 3 minutes long, on the idea of technology trees and why they may be a good idea for actually mapping progress in an area. Molecular machines, as many of you know much better than I do, is a very broad area and has many different goals in it and also many different approaches in it. And so one thing that we would like to do over the next year is really build out a technology tree that lists the entire field. This one is one that is for longevity for now, that is in our biotech group, but ideally over the next year, we're building something similar out for the field of molecular machines. And so the idea is that by doing this for our individual technical groups, we can actually establish what are the individual nodes of the field, how do they relate to each other? So how does your guys' work relate to the work that other people in your area are doing? We're trying to map out not only what specifically you're working on, but also potentially future things that this could unlock, and also other enabling technologies that you may need. They may not only be from the field of molecular machines, they could also come from other areas. And so the idea is that by doing this consistently over the next few years across our groups, we may find interesting touch points. For example, I could see molecular machines being an interesting tool for progress in biotechnology, and I could see our intelligent corporations of our AI group producing a few interesting tools for the molecular machines group. And so over time, we're hoping that this will become a little bit more of a useful tool. We're doing this in the back end. That being said, if you are interested in collaborating on this project, please reach out to me. We are definitely taking collaborators on the technical bits in molecular machines. The idea really is that we are trying to create a little bit more of a public good service of mapping your projects out in relation to each other, and so that you have a better overview as that we can produce by just producing normal seminar summaries that may not always really give a good idea of what you guys are working on in relation to each other. Okay, so that I think is, one of the main points. So again, just to reiterate, if you're interested in this project, if you think this is worthwhile doing, then you certainly, I think, have the opportunity to learn a lot what's happening in the field by collaborating with us on this. If you're interested in that, please let me know. And the idea is that we recently received some funding to also put challenges on individual bounties. And so the idea is that in our more symposium style meetings that Ben already talked about, one thing that could fall out of them is that we actually create well-defined challenges that we can then put bounties on for solving them, so that over time we create a little bit more of an incentive mechanism as well, instead of the more theoretical aspect. That's, I guess, another thing that I want to mention. I should also, really just want to encourage you again to, to take a step and make this program your own. Ben already mentioned this, but I think really one thing that, we, or at least I, with my very limited local knowledge from what I think would be useful to you, we can only provide you a canvas for what for what it is that you guys want to be doing together. Like I see this group more as a coordination tool for all of you guys to really figure out where the best points for collaboration are. And so I really encourage you to take a look at the program and don't be shy for actually filling in your name in the pink brainstorm sessions, right? Like this is really a space for you guys to talk to each other. We've gone through the program of the last year. We've gone through your responses to our feedback forms. And based on that, we propose these initial topics for brainstorms and for keynotes. But there may be many, many more that we're missing. And so for that, it would be really lovely if you actually wanted to take a look at the program and fill in your names and let us know how otherwise you would like to collaborate with us. And the same holds also for the introduction form. So early last year, when we started this group, we sent out a survey with many questions that a few people of you wanted answers to. And now the survey populated a member registry. If you're not in the member registry yet, but you'd be interested in collaborating with other people, then I really encourage you to fill out the member registry as well. Okay, so with that being said, I want to share a few more links, including for the tech tree in the Discord. But I would also love to welcome Larissa, who joined a little late, who's another fellow and who we didn't get to introduce yet. So Larissa, in case I don't put you too much on the spot, we would love to hear from you what you're working on, and because you also joined at Vision Week and it was really, really, really fun, I think to butt heads there. So I'd love to know what are you expecting from this year? Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Alison. Thanks for putting me on the spot and telling everyone that I was late. And sorry for being late. No, don't worry. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself anyway. Sorry that it's so late because of me. So I recently started my own group in Bonn in Germany, and I'm working on out-of-equilibrium metallo-supramolecular systems. So I'm more interested in kind of similar to what Stefan said earlier, the out-of-equilibrium idea towards molecular machines. And I'm really excited to hear more about all different aspects of molecular machines this year, which was already very great last year. And Vision Week really, really was an amazing experiment. So yeah, thanks.